In the world of mixed martial arts, it's not uncommon for colossal fighters to clash against each other, making heavyweights look small in comparison. Often, these confrontations end in total chaos. Let's enjoy a spectacular compilation featuring inhumanly gigantic fighters battling each other for the crowd's entertainment. In April 2012, a globally known enemy of narrow doorways, Robert Bruna entered the octagon to face Marchant. This match was already being called one of the biggest in mixed martial arts history, although this had nothing to do with ticket sales. The start of this madness resembled an open masterclass of newly developed courses in non-contact combat. Bruna, due to his size, mostly stood rooted to one spot, occasionally accelerated in attempts to grab the native opponent. Neyman relied on his instincts of self-preservation, betting on nature to drain the giant and sap his endurance. However, nothing like that happened. The Hulk-like figure in human form, even when occasionally exploding, still retained his composure and oxygen, hidden far from his muscle frame. In the second round, the missing colors were finally added and the canvas began to look like a finished picture. It depicted an enraged bodybuilder driving Marchant's head into the canvas until he tapped out and lost in a brutal fashion. In June 2009, a tournament in Mississippi had already alerted local authorities that it planned to reenact a clash between Hulk and Thanos from the Avengers, but only under mixed martial arts rules. Bobby Lashley and Bob Sapp could easily have opened their courses in bodybuilding, powerlifting, and other strength disciplines that help you to get this big. It was strange to see them fit into that poor cage, but that's another story. The actual fight did not go according to the Beast's usual script, who typically puts on a fearsome mask in the octagon only to take it off at the moment the first blow lands. We also did not witness Bob's trademark moves of death grips and pushes like Neo from the fourth part of the Matrix. Nothing of that sort occurred. The animalistic power of Lashley was more than enough to put Sapp down and completely outclass him in grappling. Though being a base wrestler, Bobby could easily have thrashed the Beast into stand-up as well, but the guy gave preference to his roots. In the end, still helpless, though looking like a titan, Bob Sapp got destroyed after a few minutes on the ground and lost by a TKO. On December the 30th, 2011, Brock Lesnar, having compromised health but still looking like a pile of muscles with arms and legs, clashed with a worthy opponent, Alistair Overeem, at UFC 141. That night, too many factors played against the Beast incarnate. The main one was the fact that the New Zealander apparently had a hearty dinner of horse meat the night before the fight, making him look like a centaur, albeit without the extra pair of limbs. In the cage, Overeem followed Bruce Lee's advice on the importance of hitting one specific spot. This resulted in his constant and persistent attempts to reach Brock's midsection, who was already begging for help due to diverticulitis. For a while, Lesnar managed to defend, although kicks and knees from Alistair reached their target as if they were coming home.
The body. Right to the midsection of Lesnar. He's hurt bad. And again to the midsection.
In the end, constant attacks to a specific area, namely the liver, knocked Brock Lesnar off his feet, followed by a quick finish.
To the body. So much punishment to the body. This is going to be it. That's it. It's over. It is all over.
This once again proves that no matter how ripped and buff you are, if a precise hit lands on your liver, no muscles can help you. In March 2022, one of the biggest boxing matches took place between Eddie Hall and Thor Bonson. Admittedly, this formulation also stems from the athlete's size, not the hype and other components, although, let's be honest, it's not like there was no interest in this clash at all. In the very first round, Hall managed to introduce Thor's face to a couple of sledgehammers. He delivered another impressive hit early in the second.
Thor's got this in the bag. My God, that was a good one. Oh my God!
Close to the end of the round, Bonson managed to fight back and regain his confidence. He shook Eddie several times to the point of tremor in his limbs, and at the end of the third round, he even sent him to the corner of the ring.
Nearly halfway through. Oh! Big punch there!
In the fourth and fifth rounds, the guys engaged in a shootout, which increasingly turned into a full-blown slaughter. They were really going after it and swung their massive hands as if they weighed half an average person. Truth be told, the situation still slipped through Hall's fingers like sand, as in the beginning of the sixth round, he once again went down to kiss the canvas.
Oh, big shot there!
In the end, the strongman failed to regain the initiative. The heir to the throne of Asgard won by a unanimous decision. In September 2017, UFC fans sitting in the front rows were warned that the main event of the local fight night would be a battle between two skyscrapers, Alexander Volkov and Stefan Struve. Therefore, the organization advised them in advance that it would be better to bring binoculars if they wanted to see anything. On that night, everything came down to the third round. The Russian and Dutch towers had properly battered each other in the previous two rounds, but the climax of their confrontation only came at the halfway point of the distance. Volkov was more methodical and calculated, although perhaps it was all just plain fatigue.
Issues and injuries over the years.
He knows how to manage the pace. Oh, look at that. Nice uppercut. Oh, and another one.
In any case, Struve initially appeared more decisive, boldly moving forward and swinging his arms long as railway ties. Over time, Alexander turned on as well and rushed to pay his opponent back.
A little bit more force coming forwards.
The Russian sniper was focused only on his target, which was Stefan's bloodied head.
He's poking the eyes as well.
Yes, without a doubt.
And when 2/3 of the round had passed, it started to look like a piñata from which Volkov tried to knock out candies, or whatever he was interested in. In fact, the story is as old as the hills. The Dutchman slowed down too noticeably and, in his best traditions, leaned back against the cage wall. The Russian giant took advantage of the situation and dismantled what was left of the poor guy Struve into small details. He added the final touches and emerged as the victor by a stoppage.
Volkov upsets the home fans and gets a TKO win.
More than 7 years ago, the world of mixed martial arts witnessed a fight between a so-called Euro Hulk against the legendary Brazilian Antonio Silva. The jacked and aggressive Russian charged at Bigfoot with a storm of flying bombs. Ruthless attacks by Ivan Shturkov to the veteran of the sport started right at the beginning and did not stop until the latter began to fight back. And that wasn't as quick as you might think, friends. For the entire first round, he tested Silva's resilience and battered his head with the heaviest attacks. At the start of the next round, he even knocked him down with a powerful left. One might say that the Russian nailed Antonio's skull on any level. It's hard to imagine how the Brazilian, who was long past his prime, managed to withstand all this onslaught and take the best hits of his opponent and keep standing.
Опасный размен. Попадает снова Иван Штырков.
The incredible resilience of Bigfoot allowed him to dig deeper in the third and final round. Despite also being very tired, in addition to the beating he had been receiving all this time, Silva looked fresher than the Ural Hulk, as even gamma particles couldn't help him to retire the veteran.
Тяжелые, очень тяжелые удары.
Gathering the remaining fuel in his body, Antonio went for revenge.
Но очень много сил потеряно, не хватает у него сил довести до...
However, even a comeback in the third round didn't help him regain his ground. The fight went to a judge's decision, in the conclusion of which the winner was Ivan Shturkov, thanks to success in the early 5 minutes. On March the 8th, 2024, the world of big boxing saw the second attempt of the former heavyweight champion of the world's best league in a new industry. Not wanting to lower the bar for opponents, after Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou shared the ring with the Olympic champion Anthony Joshua. The most interesting and entertaining spectacle, as bitter as it is to admit, was the overwhelming defeat of the MMA fighter and the main knockout artist in UFC. How shocking for everyone was the first knockdown from the Brit in the last minute of the first round. Nobody had ever seen the Cameroonian in such a light before, but it was nothing compared to what awaited the Predator closer to the finale of the second round. First, Anthony acted preemptively and knocked Francis down once again, and then when the Cameroonian got up, Joshua finished the job in style with a single punch. He Ngannou'd Ngannou himself. In October 2021, a world-renowned and respected powerlifter, Mariusz Pudzianowski, had another MMA match. He shared the octagon with the native of Senegal, Serene Osmandia. If you're a hardcore fan or were a wrestling enthusiast in the past, you'll appreciate the following joke. In WWE, there was a character known as the Undertaker, and in the last years of his career, due to age, he was known for short matches. His entrance to the ring took longer than a couple of signature spots and moves. Wrestling fans have long mocked him for this, and such comments still occasionally occur. This fight can boast the same thing, because the fighters' announcements and their walkouts to the octagon took far more time than the action between the initial and the final bell. The Polish strongman finished the Bombardier within 18 seconds from the start, counter-attacking him and neatly laying him down near the cage post. No comments. More than 6 years ago, the local promotion RXF rolled out its 24th numbered event. One of the battles on that night determined the winner between two behemoths, Sandu Lungu and a giant named Rocky Balboa weighing over 260 pounds. Although, of course, the Senegalese athlete perfectly matched his counterpart, just like the second stick of Twix of XXXXL size, he couldn't keep up in terms of endurance compared to Lungu. Balboa, contrary to his nickname, kept thinking about how to take Sandu to the ground. In turn, the latter strived for scrapping in the stand-up. After 2 minutes, it became clear that Rocky, hardly showing anything worthy, wasted all the oxygen he had in his body. Seeing this, Lungu, without wasting a second, rushed for the finish. And although the general feeling that the fighters moved like in slow motion may have puzzled you, the fact remains a fact. Sandu won by a TKO as the Senegalese surrendered in the first round. The next freak show featuring two antagonists in the history of clothing sellers took place on December 31st, 2006 at K1 Premium Dynamite. Not a genius, billionaire, playboy and philanthropist, but a sumo wrestler, lover of big snacks, and a fighter in the face of Akebono, shared the ring with another highly demanded character due to his unusual appearance and size. Giant. That's our interpretation. He really had such a nickname. Incidentally, it's worth paying tribute to the simple workers who made a high-quality canvas for the ring. The same applies to the guys who tightly stretched the ropes around the ring. As for the fight itself, As they say, it went without fireworks. After a minute of hugging in the corner, Silva, who stuck to his plan, tightly grabbed his opponent's arm, whom he eventually took down to the canvas. Then, not wasting much time, he executed a painful Kimura and emerged victorious that evening. In September 2013, the world of mixed martial arts got introduced to the Cameroonian Panther. Better known in the past as a 4-time world champion in Muay Thai, Galani made a sensation during his professional debut because he delivered a highlight worthy of the Hall of Fame in a collection of butchered physics from UFC 5. More resembling an actor from an Old Spice commercial, Galani shared the octagon with Mahmoud Hassan, who, as they say, still wonders the alley of consciousness after that fight. In total, the fight took no more than 31 seconds, during which the Cameroonian broke into mixed martial arts, kicking the entrance door off its hinges. And this is not wordplay, dear friends, just watch it for yourself. One spinning kick to the head from Galani, and the follow-up did their job in a brilliant manner. There's not much else to add.
145 pounds of pure muscle.
Since we've brought up the topic of wrestlers and actors in mixed martial arts, why not consider another sortie of such a specimen into the fighting sport? 2012. While not yet Drax the Destroyer, but already having made a name for himself thanks to wrestling, Dave Batista tried his hand at mastering MMA. His opponent was the 40-year-old veteran Vince Lucero. Certainly, the American athlete did not achieve any big success in the form of championships and corresponding opponents from the UFC roster. But that's not really important. He just wanted to test himself, which in principle he did more than successfully.
Another right hand. Straight left hand, another left hand.
Lucero was a veteran with many fights on his resume. However, he failed to handle Batista, who spent his best years tossing buff guys around the ring. The expected outcome came closer to the end of the first round. Dave exhausted his opponent with his actions, took him to the ground, squeezed him dry, and beat him by a TKO.
There's a lot of girth he's given up.
Big right
Good
hand.
right hand, 2 or 3 more punches. That'll
That's
be
it. And Dave, the Animal Batista, wins his mixed.
Too bad he couldn't do the same with Ronan the Accuser.
Brass body Batista!
Leave your opinion in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the new videos, and of course, hit the like button if you enjoyed this one. See you soon.